refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is Umar Ahmed for IFLTV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We live in a crazy world of boxing here, but this is another level, isn't it, Dean?
Yeah, no, this is, someone just said to me, this is the platinum of white collar boxing. You know, you got like white collar boxing gold, this is platinum level. Yeah, you know, these guys' fan base is ridiculous, you know what I mean? These men are shutting it down in any kind of boxing sense, regardless if it's white, blue, gold, platinum, these men are selling out, the energy's different. You know, all these young kids are here turning out and supporting, and they're getting the views and they're putting the bums on seats, man. It's absolute insanity.
Looks like these guys, misfits, want to put on Derek Chisora and Myris Braidis.
Yeah, I think they're trying to do something different with that fight with Derek and Braidis. They're saying over 5 rounds. I don't know if that shortens the purse what they get, but I said to Derek, look, as long as the bag's right, I guess you may want to do it. Obviously, I know Braidis been looking for a fight for a long time. He's been inactive, I think, isn't he? He had an injury before, so I think it's a good fight for Derek to have. I think Derek's been active, Derek's strong. Derek could win, but depends what kind of Braidis turns up, man. The Braidis that fought Usyk was pretty decent, you know what I mean? But that was quite a little while pre his injury. But he looks strong, looks lean, looks in shape. So he might be smaller and faster, so might be dangerous. I don't know, but in a boxing sense, I wouldn't say I would look forward to watching it, but I would watch it.
Yeah, I get you. What's happening with Black Box anyway, Dean? What's the latest?
Yeah, we had a show April the 15th, really good, really busy as usual, so I was happy with that. We're back on June the 10th with a stacked card again, and you know, we're looking forward to putting on a great night in summer, so it's going to be good, some good fights. And what we have is we have momentum, because what was happening before last year was we slowly had a lot of guys who was debutants, 1-0, 2-0. A lot of the guys now we got are building 10-0, 9-0, 8-0, 7-0, 6-0. So now we're getting into title contention. This is what we're working on long term, the strategy. So it's great. Later down in the year, we've got a good year. So we've got some good things with Prince Patel coming, hopefully later down the year. You know, that he's got a crazy character, mouthpiece. And we've got some good stuff for some of the other boys. But, you know, I'm just happy, you know, keeping myself busy and putting all the hard work, and the hard work we put in is starting to pay dividends somewhat, you know what I mean? It is very difficult and stressing, I'm not going to lie, but hey, life is stressing at the minute because of the world we live in. So, I mean, why not enjoy what you're doing somewhat with having this stressful life and so on?
Do you feel like the brand's growing now?
The brand is absolutely growing, absolutely growing. I'm happy with the movement. I'm happy with our fluidity with the show and the consistency. It's a lot, though, to be honest, because we had a show every month, and it's been quite difficult to continue doing that. I'm not sure I'll do that next year. I don't know how that works out. I think we might have to bend it a little bit and tweak it a little bit, so we still have a good run, but maybe one every 4 weeks might be a little bit too far for me to handle. But I mean, look, right now the team's good, it's working. And some shows are difficult than others, but I think we find obstacles on all of them, because obviously all the dots and the I's and the T's need to be crossed. So that's what is the tricky situation, especially with the British border control, because it's one little thing and the fight could be pulled off the card, you know what I mean? I encountered that on my last show, so that was quite difficult, but we managed to get it done. We had 8 fights on, and it was still a very busy card. So yeah, we continue to grow and learn, man, and I'm happy. Next year, you know, hopefully, God willing, the channel continues to grow, views grow, and the subscribers, man, subscribe. Get on the Black Box YouTube, subscribe. We got, you know, we need to start pushing more content, but you know, get there and watch the fights. Interesting night, great night of action and fun.
Go and subscribe, Black Box YouTube channel. Well, it looks like Anthony Joshua won't be fighting your brother in the summer. He's going to go straight into the Deontay Wilder fight, from what I'm hearing. Yeah, that's what it looks like, and that's what I think these guys look. I think if we're going along with the speculation and what we're hearing about the numbers of money, the sums of money these guys are garnering, it's a dangerous fight to go and fight someone like Dillian Whyte in the interim, unless you're just
disregarding and disrespecting him and saying, well, I don't respect you as a fighter. You're just a keepsake, a middle ground where you're going to keep warm in the middle until, you know, the big fights are there. But you know what? Dillian's a handful for anyone on any given night, so I'm sure they know that's not the right and smart thing to do.
I mean, I know he turned up to the Joyce fight hoping that he won, and then potentially we could have seen Joyce Whyte, really. Yeah,
I think that fight's been spoken about for some time, and I know Dillian and the Warriors were talking about it and trying to get that fight done, and I know, you know, I think financially it just wasn't viable. And yeah, like he said, if he did win, I think they was going to try and pursue that avenue and that route again. But, you know, he lost.
He's going to rematch him, so
and
you think he can do it?
And we've got to credit him. We've got to credit him that he's going to take that. I think he needs to make some adjustments. I don't know what adjustment. Actually, I do fucking know the adjustments. He's moving red. I mean, sorry, but I mean, you know, boxing southpaw is always difficult, but he was getting caught with the same shot time and time again. But you know what? He come up against someone who was equally as big as him and quite mobile for a big guy. I still got faith in the juggernaut that he can do things. He just needs to make those amendments. And what is it? The straight and left was catching him on the eye socket. I don't know. Maybe he needs to control a little bit more of the distance. Maybe, I don't know. You know, move, slip, control. But southpaw is always hard for people with southpaws. That guy was, and you know, I've always said that guy was quite smart because I've watched him fight Zhang fight a few other people. But what I questioned was his fitness, because we always saw him lacking in fitness, and that's the department I felt Joe was always superior to a lot of people. And obviously his chin didn't forgive him, but obviously the eye socket was damaged, and he had to, you know, the ref called it, and it was the right call, because there could have been long-term ramifications and damage, irreparable. So it was good. Hopefully he makes the adjustments, understands the southpaw, where your feet in is, where the distance control is, and just being, you know, a little bit more movement on the head, and hopefully he'll come out a winner on that. But if that's in China, he's going to have to go on kind of big, was it the Chinese wall with all a billion Chinese people with booing him potentially. But look, Zhang came into the Lions, then came here and defeated him. He's now might have to go and do that in his backyard. We don't know.
I interviewed Joe on Wednesday, and I said, have any offers come in from China? At this point, he said no. So it looks like it'll be the UK.
So it'll be it. So look, Zhang's got to come here and do it all again, man. And hopefully he gets it right. And what's the situation in terms of his coach? Is he still staying with
Salas?
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me that he's going to make adjustments within the camp, but he didn't say that he's going to change trainer.
Okay, well.
What did surprise me, I asked him, you know, you lost a stone from the Joseph Parker fight.
Yeah.
I said, was that intentional? He said it wasn't.
That's that. I think I don't know if that played a major part, because I felt it may be in the distance control, because he was walking onto them shots, or he was right there to be hit with that shot. So I feel like if you kind of get the distance right, to get caught, you know, like getting caught with a 1-2, not a lot of people get caught straight on with a 1-2. It's either you get the distance right or you sit just at the right time. So there's little things, I don't know, it's you know, I'm not in there, but what I do know, like I said, he's been underestimated for, as far as I'm concerned, he may be somewhat of an overachiever, because a lot of people didn't, when he came into it, he had that silver Olympic champion, but he, you know, in terms of, they just thought he was a bruiser, but he had skills, he had movement, do you know what I mean? For a big lump, could punch, had the fitness. So I feel like there's just little tweaks. I think when he was with Booth, he was over moving his head. He just needs to find the balance in getting that and getting the distance control, because getting distance is a defense in itself, because you're not there to be hit. You know what I mean? And I think he got it right with Dubois. He was hitting, moving off, and circling off into pivoting to which angle he wanted to. But I mean, look, the guy's in there doing his thing. I think him and his team will know who and what they need to make, what adjustments, watching it back and seeing what they need to, you know, try and rectify. You know what I mean?
Lastly, before I let you go, the biggest talking point of this week in boxing was Ben Shalom and boxer pulling Fraser Clarke out the purse bids with the Fabio Wardley
situation. What purse bid are you on about? I'm sure I heard that. Didn't I hear that? What purse bid?
Of course, your brother manages Fabio Wardley, so this has direct impact on him and Fabio, and it leaves them in a no man's land position at the moment. What did you make of boxer pulling them out?
Yeah, it was a bit of a strange one, because it was a good fight, and to be honest, I said over there I didn't actually speak to Diddy about it. I did actually, I forgot. But you know what it is, because it's not in the forefront of my mind. I recall having a conversation, and I thought it was a good fight. I felt like it was a fight that Fraser kind of jumped the queue. Now listening to 258 online, what they put up, they did jump the queue because they asked the board if they could get preferential treatment somewhat to be nominated as the challenger. So, you know, I feel like Fraser still could go his own way and potentially have 8s and 10s like they're saying. But I feel like it is a bit of a joke because they've kind of got the fans warm and thinking and salivating for that fight, thinking, well, he's going to have a great British dust-up for the, you know, the British title. And now, you know, they didn't even turn up to the tea party. So it's a bit, I don't know, man, it's a bit of an unsavory thing to do, you know what I mean? But look, it is what it is. The party goes on and Fabio continues because it was going to be a hard fight, you know, either way for both men. You know what I mean?
Dean, appreciate your time. We'll catch up
Listen,
soon,
thank
right?
you as always, man.
God bless.
Take care.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,